night. And I know somebody just rolled her eyes at me, but sis, there's no way around this. I'm not exception. I was asking myself recently if there are some people that are 50 and they look 30. Why can't that be my story? But you see, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Wenam, and one of the many things I do on this channel is to share health content with you. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the largest organ of the human body. Can you guess what that is? You're right, it's our skin. We're going to be talking about 5 ways to maintain a glowy, youthful skin without having to spend one CD. And I know in this era where everyone is crazy about buying skincare products for thousands of Cedis, these tips are very, very fundamental in maintaining a glowy skin, even if you do not have money to invest in that much of skin products. This is a part two. I did a part one somewhere last year. I'm going to link it in the description box down below or right here. You can watch that as well, and so that you understand the 5 previous tips we spoke about and build up on it with these ones I'm about to share. And so without wasting much time, let's get right into today's video. The first tip in maintaining a youthful skin or healthy skin is sleeping more, having about 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day. This is extremely important. Let me share a very typical example with you. Quite recently, I started seeing fine lines underneath my eye, especially when I wake up. And I got worried. So I went to see the optometrist because I thought it had to do with my eye or something. And there was nothing wrong with my eye. And so I started talking to God. God, what is this? I'm too young for this. What is happening? And through the interaction, I discovered that it was because I wasn't sleeping well enough. And it is true. On nights that I sleep for about 7 hours, I wake up with very beautiful skin. But when I sleep for about 4 or 5 hours and I wake up, then I see that there's a fine line underneath my eye here. And so in my research, I came across what we've always known as beauty sleep. I mean, I used to say without much consideration. But when this started, I understood why it is called a beauty sleep, because it is in that hour or those hours that your skin is rejuvenated and revived. Sleep is very important for rejuvenation of several organs, and our skin is no exception. And so when you sleep for 7 to 9 hours, it gives the skin enough time to rejuvenate, to refresh itself for the next day. And so sleep is extremely, extremely important. I'm doing 4 or 5 hours a day now because I'm working towards something, but that's just for a period. I have about 2 more weeks to go, and then I'm going to go back to about 10 hours of sleep to make up for lost time. It's a joke, it doesn't work like that. But what I'm saying is that we need to prioritize sleep. And what I realize is that for me, for example, I'm both a morning person and then I'm a late night owl as well. Is that what they call them? Yes. I like to work late into the night and I like to wake up early as well. And so what I do is to incorporate naps into my routine. And so even on days that I sleep for only 4 or 5 hours in the night, within the day, I'm going to make sure I sleep for about 2 to 3 hours before going on with the rest of my night routine and all of that. So it is extremely important. You should find what works for you. Maybe truly you cannot sleep for 7 to 9 hours in a day continuously like that. Find a way to incorporate it into your routine, something that works for you, and you see the result. Sleep is extremely important. And like I said previously, these are the foundations. You can buy all the skincare products that there is, but if you're not sleeping enough, you're going to get wrinkles. And the fine lines underneath my eye, or the saggy skin I was having underneath my eye, it was progressive. And so when I continue like that without having a lot of sleep, what I realized in a few years, I'll start getting looking older than my age. And so sleep cannot be ruled out of the equation when talking about great skin care. The next step would be to bath at least twice a day and especially at night. And I know somebody just rolled her eyes at me, but sis, there's no way around this. I'm no exception. On there are some nights I'm just human. There are some nights I am extremely tired that I cannot. My dad used to tease me about this. In fact, after eating, I sleep there. I mean, life happens. It's not easy out here being an adult. But if you want to maintain glowy skin, you have to prioritize bathing at least twice a day. And even if not twice, at least in the evening when you're going to bed. And so, what I do on nights that I am extremely tired and I cannot, I know deep down in my soul that boy, the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. What I do is to go in with my doodoo soap, clean my face, just go to the sink area, wash my face, and then use CeraVe, wash my face, and then I just go off to wherever I want to go to. So it's extremely, extremely important that you bath at least 2 times a day. And for your face, you need to, if you cannot help it, try as much as possible to, because throughout the day you accumulate a lot of dirt, you accumulate a lot of sweat. If you use sunscreen, you know it is trapping a lot of dirt and all of that. So the least you can do is to wipe that off before you go to sleep. Because what you need to understand is that the skin is not like a glass on which dirt just lies on and then you can wipe it off. It has pores. What it means is that those dirt can sink into your skin, can sink into your body, and that's what causes the pimples and whatnot. And so when you think about it like that, you see the importance of getting it off, because you know that it's just not lying there. It is actually going to go into the skin eventually. And so we do not want that. So try as much as possible to bathe at least 2 times a day, in the morning and in the evening. But worst case scenario is that you're surviving on once a day, bathing once a day. It should be in the night when you're about to sleep. And so that will be our second tip for a great skin. Also, on the point of bathing is to never sleep with your makeup on. One of the things I'm so grateful for in my line of work as a physiotherapist is the fact that I do not need to go to work with makeup on my face. But if you do work in some corporate space that needs you looking all every single day, you do not go to bed with your makeup on. And I know we've all done it. I've done it before. You have this good makeup and you just cannot. So you sleep with it, so that's the feeling that you take it to church or some other place. We've all been there, we've done that, but no more. We are growing now, and so we are investing into things. So we are doing things that is going to be a good investment into our skin. And so you do not sleep with your makeup on. It's a no, no, no. You absolutely get it off and wipe your face and clean it thoroughly. Do double cleansing after applying makeup, actually, to get it out of your skin, because like I said, the skin has pores, and so the makeup sinks into it, and so you have to be thorough in cleansing it to get everything out of the skin to maintain a fresh, glowy, and youthful skin. The tech tip is going to be our good old exercise. Good old exercise. And we all know, I'm not going to go so much into it, because if you follow this channel for some time now, you know that we are big on exercise here, and exercise is extremely important for circulating blood in the body and to our skin. Blood is what carries the nutrients, and so when you exercise, the more the blood flows, then it carries the nutrient needed to rejuvenate your skin. And so exercise is extremely important. It doesn't have to be any vigorous exercise. You could just incorporate more walking into your routine, something to get that heart beating, that heart rate up, and then you would have the magic antidote to maintaining a youthful, glowy skin. The next thing I would say is to avoid allergic foods. And when I talk about allergic foods here, I'm talking about foods that you notice that after eating them a day or two after, you start having reactions on your face. It could be pimples, it could be anything. I, for one, noticed that when I eat granite continuously for a day, for 2 or 3 days, I get pimples on my face. And so, what am I going to do? I avoid eating granite continuously for 3 days or for 2 days. When I eat granite today, probably put some 2 or 3 days in between before eating it again. For some people, it could be chocolate. For other people, it could be deep fried foods. For some people, it could be milk. You have to find out, pay attention to your skin and find out the things that do not work for you and avoid them as much as possible. And like I said in my part in the part one of this video, when it comes to skincare, we are navigating or gravitating more towards the natural food. And when I talk about natural food, we're talking about food that grew from the earth. Anything that was kind of like processed might not be your best friend. So talking about the chocolates, talking about the refined sugars and all of that, you try to avoid them because it gives the wrinkles and all. But when you feed more on the greens, I mean, I'm not talking about food because I spoke about that extensively in the first video. But since we are here, I may as well just remind you is to when you're coming to eat, just ask yourself this thing, where is it coming from? Is it coming from the earth or it was manufactured in an industry or a company or went through some machines? And so we want to navigate more towards that. And then even with the natural foods, you have to pay attention to the ones that do not work for you. And the final tip would be not to pop your pimples. Yeah. Some of you, as you're watching this video, you're popping your pimple. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not good for our skin, especially if you do not know what you're doing. There are some people that know what they are doing in popping their pimples. You can go ahead, but if you do not know what you're doing, and some people just do it for fun. There was this friend that would not stand pimples on another person's face. She would want to pop it for you. Don't be that kind of a person. If you do not know what you're doing, just allow the pimple to go by itself. And what I bought recently is to get some pimple patches. And so when I have a pimple, I'll just put it on it so that it does its work. But can you imagine, since I bought it for about 2 or 3 weeks, I've not had a single pimple on my face because I'm sleeping well. I'm eating well. Okay, maybe not a lot of sleeping, but I'm eating well. I'm avoiding the granates. I'm exercising. I am in my happy girl era. And so these are your 5 tips for maintaining a youthful, glowy skin. It is very possible. I was asking myself recently if there are some people that are 50 and they look 30. Why can't that be my story? But you see, in life, you have to take destiny into your own hands. And so with these tips, you're well on your way to having a glowing, youthful skin so that when we are 70, we'll be looking like 30. That is the goal. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what other skincare stuff you'd want me to talk about. I'll let me do that for you. And I'll see you in the next one. See you. Bye.